My name is Matteo. I'm a counsellor at the University of Bristol Student Counselling Service. This is a short video to introduce you to anxiety management. We're going to look at different elements that come into play when we think about anxiety. We think about situations to begin with that make us anxious. For example, we can be anxious in social situations, we can be anxious when we are under pressure, or we can be anxious when we think about the future. All of those situations usually have something in common that is about uncertainty. We want to divide the elements that come into play with anxiety into 4 different bubbles. The reason why we do that is that certain things would be easier to access and to do something about than others. So we want to think about what's easier to change for us and what isn't. Hopefully this quick exercise can give you a little idea of how we make an assessment for our own anxiety, and it can give you a little baseline to start some self-reflection and hopefully some change. So I'm going to draw things as I speak, so we're going to have a look at it together. So we're going to draw 4 bubbles: thoughts, behaviours, feelings, as in emotions, and physical sensations. So let's start with thoughts. In the thought bubble, we're going to put things that we think about when we're anxious, as if they were a sentence or a line or a title. So when I'm anxious, I might think things like, I'm not good enough, or people are gonna judge me, or I'm gonna fail. In the second bubble, we put emotions, as in our feelings. In this bubble, we want to put things that are a bit more complex than just I'm feeling stressed or I'm feeling anxious. So for example, when I'm anxious or stressed, I might feel angry, I might feel sad, I might feel irritable, I might feel annoyed. In the third bubble, we're going to put our physical sensations, things that we feel in our body. For example, if I'm really anxious, I might feel fidgety, I might have sweaty palms, my heart might be racing, I might have some shallow breathing. In terms of physical sensations, all the things might be affected. So for example, my ability to concentrate, if I'm really anxious, might be affected. So I'm going to put ability to concentrate or ability to focus. And my sleep might be affected as well. In the last bubble, I want to put behaviors. So by behavior, I mean the things that I do with my body and the things that I do with my thoughts. Okay, so 2 types of behavior. The things that I do with my body might be along the line of avoiding things. So if I'm really anxious in social situation, I might avoid people, I might avoid going to lectures, or I might avoid going to certain places. So I'm going to put avoidance. And I'm also going to put in this bubble things that I do with my thoughts. Things like catastrophizing, or maybe something about being self-critical, so self-critiquing. Now the reason why we separated these elements is that they all happen at the same time, but they are separate elements to our anxiety. So I'm going to put some arrows all around the 4 bubbles, showing that they all interact with each other. Now that we have a bit more of a picture of what our anxiety looks like, then there are things that we can access more easily than others. For example, I think about my physical sensations as a bit of a result, so they're a bit of a symptom, so they're a bit more difficult to access. Maybe my thought patterns and my behavior might be more easily accessible to us. That is the place where we want to start with. So I hope that you found this video helpful and that could give you a little bit of a place to start for your reflections and your thoughts. If you need any further support with anxiety or with any other difficulties that you're experiencing, then you can contact the Wellbeing Access Service and they will link you up with the most appropriate service. You can do that online. There are also more resources on the big white wall that you can access, and we have some self-help pages on our website. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for listening. Bye.